the two most dangerous vitamins that weaken your legs after the age of 60. Feeling your legs weaker, heavier, or more painful can be a sign that something needs attention. Maybe you've noticed that standing for longer periods, walking, or climbing stairs is becoming a challenge. If so, it's important to be careful. What I am about to reveal may be something you never suspected, and it might explain exactly why this is happening. Dangerous foods and two vitamins, surprisingly considered essential for health, may actually be draining the strength from your legs. Truth be told, those vitamins everyone claims are good for your health might actually be weakening your muscles, overloading your joints, and making your legs unstable and uncomfortable. Even more alarming is that these threats are present in your daily life. Every sip, every bite may be feeding weakness without you even realizing it. What's even more concerning is that these two vitamins, which you might be taking right now, could accelerate muscle loss and sabotage the strength of your legs. You probably bought them at the pharmacy with the best intentions, trying to take care of your health and strengthen your bones. But this video will reveal the truth behind these supplements and the foods that may be undermining your vitality. You'll understand what's really causing tiredness, swelling, stiffness, and recurring pain in your legs. And most importantly, you'll know what to avoid and what to change from now on to regain your strength, energy, and independence. If you want to keep your legs strong for many years and age healthily, stay with me until the end. Sugary sweets and desserts. Sweets and desserts have always been synonymous with pleasure and comfort. However, after the age of 60, this habit can become a silent enemy of leg health. Excessive consumption of refined sugar triggers inflammatory processes in the body, mainly affecting the muscles and joints. Chronic inflammation makes the legs more sensitive, painful, and susceptible to degeneration. Moreover, sugar is directly linked to increased insulin resistance, which compromises muscle energy. When muscles do not receive the energy they need, they weaken and become less efficient. Sugar also promotes weight gain, increasing the load on the muscles and joints of the legs. Every extra pound demands more effort, accelerating wear and the sensation of weakness, something even more concerning in older age. Another effect of sugar is stimulating the production of toxins in the body, which further worsens inflammation. The more inflammation, the harder it is to keep the legs firm and healthy. Furthermore, excessive sugar consumption harms blood circulation, increasing the risk of vascular problems that directly affect blood flow to the legs. Compromised circulation reduces the supply of oxygen and nutrients to the muscles, hindering muscle recovery and regeneration. Industrialized desserts are also poor in essential nutrients for muscle health, such as proteins and magnesium. In other words, you consume empty calories that only weaken the body instead of strengthening it. Over time, this unbalanced diet contributes to muscle mass loss, one of the main causes of reduced mobility. A simple piece of cake or pie may seem harmless, but day after day it compromises your strength and independence. To make matters worse, most industrialized sweets contain chemical additives, such as dyes and preservatives, which further increase inflammation in the body and disrupt the muscular system. When combined with excess sugar, these additives create a very harmful combination for health. A smart change is to replace industrialized desserts with natural options, like fruits with cinnamon or homemade sweets with little sugar. This way, you can still enjoy a special flavor without sacrificing your health. Your legs and your palate will thank you. Fried foods. French fries are irresistible to many people, but the impact that fried foods have on the body after age 60 cannot be ignored. Rich in trans and saturated fats, these foods increase inflammatory markers in the body. Inflammation directly affects muscles and joints, making the legs stiffer, more painful, and more vulnerable to injury. Moreover, the fats in fried foods make blood circulation more difficult, impairing the oxygenation of muscles. Poor circulation deprives muscle tissues of the nutrients and oxygen they need to regenerate and maintain strength. Frequent consumption of fried foods also contributes to clogged blood vessels, further reducing the flow of nutrients to the legs. Foods like donuts, nuggets, and French fries are among the main culprits. When consumed regularly, they overload the skeletal and circulatory systems. Have you ever felt your legs heavier or more painful after a meal rich in fried foods? That is your body reacting to the excess of harmful fats. The digestion of these foods is also slow and requires a lot of energy, leaving fewer resources for the muscles. Over time, a diet based on fried foods favors weight gain, further increasing the overload on the legs. Additionally, fried foods have low nutritional value, offering very few vitamins, minerals, and proteins that are fundamental for maintaining muscle mass. A diet dominated by this type of food creates an imbalance that accelerates muscle mass loss. The less muscle you have, the harder it becomes to perform basic activities such as carrying weight, climbing stairs, or walking safely. Avoiding fried foods is a simple decision that preserves your mobility and independence. Choosing healthier cooking methods is a choice your legs will thank you for every day. White bread. Although it is a common food at breakfast and snacks, white bread has a worrying impact on the body, especially after the age of 60. Made with refined flour, it undergoes a process that removes most of its fiber and essential nutrients. This transforms it into a fast-absorbing carbohydrate that raises blood sugar levels. These glucose spikes have a direct effect on muscle health, especially in the legs, causing fatigue and weakness. Continuous consumption of white bread causes metabolic imbalances. Being low in fiber and having a high glycemic index, it also contributes to insulin resistance, hindering glucose from entering muscle cells, exactly the energy that muscles need to function properly. When muscles receive less energy, maintaining firmness in the legs becomes a challenge. This can lead to muscle mass loss, a process that is already natural with aging but is accelerated by poor dietary choices. In this context, white bread is no longer neutral and becomes a source of irritation and harm. The negative effects go beyond glucose. White bread is poor in essential proteins and minerals, doing nothing to aid muscle recovery. To prevent sarcopenia, the progressive loss of muscle mass, seniors need more proteins, not empty foods like white bread. Without these nutrients, the legs become weaker and more tired. Excessive consumption of white bread also promotes weight gain, especially if eaten with butter, cheese, and sweets. The extra weight increases the pressure on the legs, which are already more fragile with age, increasing pain, inflammation, and risk of injury. The good news is that there are much more nutritious alternatives. Whole grain breads, naturally fermented or made with grains like oats, flaxseed, and rye, offer fiber and nutrients that help the muscles. When combined with proteins and healthy fats, like eggs or avocado, they create balanced meals that strengthen the body. You don't have to give up bread, just choose better options. After the age of 60, certain foods and supplements can seriously compromise the strength and health of your legs. Alcohol, for example, hampers the absorption of vital minerals like calcium and magnesium, promoting muscle loss, dehydration, and the occurrence of cramps. Combined with abdominal fat gain and widespread inflammation, alcohol accelerates the loss of mobility and increases the risk of falls. Processed meats, such as bacon and ham, loaded with sodium and preservatives, also cause chronic inflammation, affecting joints and muscles, while impairing circulation and reducing muscular energy. Instant noodles, poor in nutrients and rich in sodium and chemical additives, promote swelling, muscle weakening, and even make simple activities like walking more difficult. Industrialized cakes and ultra-processed cheeses follow the same path. They promote inflammation, harm circulation, and accelerate muscle mass loss, making the legs less firm and more prone to pain. Industrialized ice creams and milk chocolates, on the other hand, combine high levels of sugar and fat, creating insulin spikes and worsening the weakening of leg muscles. Canned foods and ultra-processed snacks filled with sodium and monosodium glutamate not only impair circulation but also feed silent inflammations that drastically reduce muscular strength and firmness. Finally, an excess of vitamin A and vitamin D, often consumed without medical guidance, can be just as harmful as a deficiency. The accumulation of these vitamins weakens muscles, hardens tissues, and overloads the kidneys and joints, compromising your mobility and autonomy over time. Conscious choices make all the difference in maintaining strong and healthy legs as the years go by.